The resource-rich planet glimmered under twin suns, its forests deep green, rivers sparkling like silver threads, and mountains rising proudly against the horizon. It was a sanctuary, but a fragile one. Humanity and their allies, the Virili, had begun to settle, building a small outpost that combined human ingenuity and alien knowledge. Every structure was designed to withstand both natural dangers and potential attacks. Captain Alara Voss walked through the base, her eyes sharp and thoughtful. Engineers were repairing the last of the Vireli ships that had been damaged in scouting missions, while humans and Vireli planted crops and prepared shelters. Children laughed and ran among the structures, learning from both humans and aliens. For the first time in generations, hope felt tangible, but it would not last. Scouts reported movement in nearby space. Massive ships appeared on the sensors, fleets from the Callistrian Council and other galactic powers who had long dismissed humanity. They had heard rumors of the planet's resources and the humans' cleverness. They intended to take it, by force if necessary. Jaren Kor, leaning over the navigation console, spoke with a mix of concern and determination. "Captain, they've come in numbers far beyond anything we've faced. Their weapons are stronger, faster, and their strategies are coordinated. We'll need more than clever tricks this time." Alara's gaze did not waver. "Humans have always faced impossible odds," she said. "We adapt, we survive, and now we defend. Gather the crews, prepare everyone. This planet will not fall while we stand." The days that followed were filled with preparation. Humans and Vireli worked together, turning their outpost into a formidable fortress. Using a combination of alien energy crystals and human-engineered defenses, they built shield generators, traps, and energy pulse cannons. Pilots trained in new maneuvers, combining human instinct with Vireli technology. Even the youngest members contributed ideas, simple, creative solutions that the older crew would never have considered. Ilara called a meeting in the command center. Maps of the approaching fleets covered the screens. "They think they can take us easily," she said, pointing at the vast enemy formations. "But they forget one thing. Humans don't follow the rules of the galaxy. We create our own rules. We think, we act, and we protect each other." Kethar, the Vireli liaison, nodded. "We have been hiding for so long, afraid of the galaxy. You have shown us that courage is stronger than fear. Together, we are not just survivors. We are a force they cannot ignore." Alara smiled. "Then let's show them." The first attack came at dawn. Enemy ships swooped through the outer atmosphere, their weapons primed and ready. They underestimated humans' ability to read patterns and predict behavior. Using the planet's terrain, the defenders created a maze of false signals, energy decoys, and hidden turrets. Enemy fire hit nothing but empty space, while humans and Vireli responded with precise, targeted strikes. Jaren guided the pilots. "Remember your training. Use the mountains and forests. Lead them where we want." The humans darted through narrow canyons, drawing enemy ships into traps. Vireli energy pulses disabled targeting systems and disrupted communications. It was a battle of wit and reflexes as much as weapons. Hours stretched into a tense day. Council ships grew frustrated, unable to anticipate the humans' moves. They had relied on brute force and advanced technology, expecting an easy conquest. But humans were unpredictable, adaptive, and, above all, united. Alara watched the battle from the command center, issuing calm, precise commands. "Move the left flank behind the ridge. Activate pulse shields. Jaren, take the decoys and lure them closer." By nightfall, the enemy had suffered heavy losses. Many ships retreated, while those that remained hesitated, unsure how to respond to the humans' unexpected tactics. The victory was not absolute, but it was proof. Humanity and their allies could stand against the galaxy's most powerful fleets. In the aftermath, Alara walked among her crew. Exhaustion was visible on their faces, but also pride. Humans and Vireli had done what no one thought possible. They had defended their home against overwhelming odds. Kethar approached, his expression a mixture of awe and respect. "Your species, it is extraordinary. Where others rely on history, tradition, or sheer force, You rely on thought, courage, and unity. I see now why the galaxy fears, not your strength, but your heart. Alara placed a hand on his shoulder. Strength comes from many things, Kethar. Intelligence, courage, empathy, creativity. Humans may be small compared to some civilizations, but we have something no one else does. The will to survive and the will to protect those who cannot protect themselves. Days passed, but the danger had not disappeared. Word of the humans' success spread through the galaxy. Some civilizations began to whisper, reconsidering their prejudices. Others, still blinded by arrogance, prepared for new attacks. Humanity's fight had only begun, but each victory made them stronger, more confident, and more respected. Alara convened a council with her senior officers. We cannot just defend ourselves, she said. We must create alliances, build knowledge, and demonstrate what humanity can offer. The galaxy may reject us, but we will show that we belong, not by force, but by example. The humans began reaching out to other outcast species, offering protection, knowledge, and guidance. Slowly, an alliance formed, one built on trust, ingenuity, and mutual respect. Humanity became a beacon for those rejected or oppressed, proving that moral courage could rival technological might. Even as new threats loomed, the humans never wavered. Every obstacle was a chance to show ingenuity. Every attack was a chance to protect life and uphold honor. Where others saw weakness, humans saw opportunity. Where the galaxy saw rejection, humans saw challenge. One evening, as twin suns set over the mountains, Alara stood on a ridge overlooking the planet. Fires from the outpost glimmered below, casting warm light across the alien landscape. Around her, humans and Varelli worked, trained, and laughed together. She felt a deep sense of pride, not just in her crew, but in humanity itself. They may call us weak, she said softly. They may call us primitive, but we endure, we survive, and one day the galaxy will remember our name, not as outcasts, but as a species that refused to surrender hope, courage, or heart. And in the quiet of that alien evening, the stars above seemed a little closer, a little less indifferent. For humans, every challenge, every battle, every rejection only strengthened their resolve. They had faced the galaxy's wrath and survived. They had built allies from exiles and strangers. And they had begun to prove a truth that no civilization could deny. Humanity, though rejected, would never be defeated. The story of humans and their allies was spreading, quietly at first, like the gentle ripple of a wave. Whispers of courage, ingenuity, and moral strength reached distant star systems. Some dismissed it. Some feared it. But slowly, the galaxy began to take notice. Alara returned to the bridge of the Aurora's Pride, her crew around her. The battle had been won, but the war for recognition had only begun. She smiled as she looked at the young crew members, the pilots, the engineers, the scientists, humans who, against all odds, had survived, adapted, and triumphed. They may reject us, she said, but humanity will continue to rise. One day, the galaxy will see us not as failures, but as a beacon of hope, courage, and ingenuity. And with that, the humans of the Aurora's Pride, along with their allies, prepared for the next challenge. For every rejection, there was a lesson. For every attack, an opportunity. And as long as humanity drew breath, they would never stop proving that the galaxy's judgment could never define them. Because humans were not defined by the opinions of others. Humans were defined by their courage, their ingenuity, and their unwavering heart. And the galaxy would soon learn that those qualities were more powerful than any fleet, any weapon, or any council. The planet thrived under the careful hands of humans and Varelli. Gardens of earth crops grew alongside alien flora. Streams sparkled with fresh water, and new shelters rose from the ground, blending human engineering with Varelli design. The once quiet outpost had become a small but lively settlement, a testament to perseverance and cooperation. Captain Alara Voss walked through the settlement, observing her crew and the Varelli allies working side by side. Children played among the structures, learning from both humans and aliens. The scene was peaceful, almost dreamlike, but Alara knew it was only a brief calm before the galaxy tested them again. "Captain," Lieutenant Jerancor said, his voice tense but calm, "we are receiving multiple transmissions. Several civilizations. They want to negotiate." Alara raised an eyebrow. "Negotiate? After all they've done?" Jaren nodded. "Yes, word of our defense, our alliances, and our resourcefulness is spreading. Some are curious, some afraid. They want to see what humans can do. Some may even consider friendship." Alara paused, thinking. Humans had always been underestimated. Even when attacked, even when rejected, they had found ways to survive, to adapt, and to create allies. Now the galaxy was beginning to notice, not with respect, but with cautious curiosity. "Prepare a delegation," she said finally. "We'll meet them, but we do it on our terms. We are humans. We decide how we interact with the galaxy, not the other way around." The humans and Varelli worked quickly. Plans were drawn, strategies prepared, and messages crafted carefully. The delegation would showcase the very qualities that had allowed humanity to survive: ingenuity, courage, and compassion. When the delegation arrived at the agreed meeting point, a neutral space station on the edge of the system, the galaxy's representatives were surprised. They expected weak humans, frightened and subservient. Instead, they found organized, confident, and united humans, working seamlessly with their allies. Ilara stepped forward to greet them. Her voice was steady, her eyes unwavering. "We are humans," she said simply. "You may have rejected us, underestimated us, or ignored us. But we survive, we adapt, we thrive, and we are not alone." The alien representatives shifted uneasily. They had always assumed humanity would be easy to intimidate. Now, faced with humans who had defended themselves, created alliances, and built a thriving outpost against overwhelming odds, they could not dismiss them. Kethar, standing beside Alara, added, "These humans have taught us courage, creativity, and unity. They do not only survive, they uplift those around them. Perhaps your perception of them needs to change." One representative, a stern-looking being from the Callistrian Council, spoke cautiously. "Your actions, they are unexpected. We underestimated you. Your people survived, defended themselves, and inspired others. Yet you are small, untested compared to the rest of the galaxy." Alara smiled slightly. "Size is not what matters. Intelligence, courage, and the will to protect others, these are what define a species. Humans may have been rejected, but we never stopped believing in ourselves. And now, others see what we can do." The meeting lasted for days. Humans and Virelli demonstrated their technologies, shared strategies, and showed how collaboration could create solutions no single civilization could achieve alone. Slowly, suspicion gave way to respect. Some alien delegates even admitted they had learned from humanity's ingenuity. Back on the planet, life continued. Humans taught Virelli how to farm Earth crops, while Virelli shared knowledge of their advanced energy systems. Together, they created devices that improved living conditions and protected their settlement. Children learned skills from both species, growing up in a world that celebrated cooperation and resilience. Alara observed all of this, quietly proud. The humans had not only survived, they had thrived, even in a galaxy that once rejected them. They had turned adversity into opportunity and transformed isolation into alliances. But humans did not stop there. Scouts traveled to other systems, sharing knowledge and offering assistance to those in need. Humans became known as problem solvers, peacemakers, and innovators. Species that had once ignored humanity now sought their advice. Humanity's reputation had changed, not through war or domination, but through ingenuity, courage, and compassion. One evening, Alara stood on a ridge overlooking the settlement. Fires from the outpost glowed warmly in the twilight, humans and Virelli moving among them, laughing and working. She reflected on how far they had come, from rejected explorers to leaders and allies in the galaxy. Kethar joined her quietly. "You humans, You have done more than survive. You have changed the course of many lives, not just your own. Ilara nodded. We did not change it alone. Every human, every Virelli, every ally helped. But yes, humanity has proven that rejection does not define us. Our actions define us. Our courage defines us. The twin suns set, casting golden light over the mountains. Stars began to twinkle above, indifferent yet beautiful. The galaxy still held dangers, but the humans were ready. Each challenge, each threat, had made them stronger, smarter, and more united. The following months were filled with diplomacy and exploration. Humans shared techniques with struggling colonies, repaired damaged systems, and inspired other outcasts. Slowly, humans built a network of allies, turning the once forbidding galaxy into a place where hope and ingenuity could thrive. Ilara watched as a group of young human engineers worked with Virelli scientists to build a new energy shield. They laughed at their mistakes, celebrated successes, and learned from each other. Humanity had not only survived, they had thrived in cooperation with others, showing that moral courage and creativity could rival even the strongest empires. Then came news from the outer systems. Some of the galaxy's most powerful civilizations were reconsidering their judgments about humanity. They had seen humans overcome impossible odds, form alliances with exiles, and create thriving settlements. Some sent envoys to observe. Others sent messages of tentative respect. The galaxy, once dismissive, had begun to take notice. Ilara smiled. The galaxy may have rejected us, she said softly, but humanity has never rejected itself. And as long as we hold on to our courage, our creativity, and our compassion, we will continue to thrive. One day, the galaxy will remember us, not as failures, not as outcasts, but as a species that refused to surrender hope or heart. Years passed. The outpost grew into a thriving settlement. Humans and Virelli trained the next generation together. Trade networks formed. Other exiled species came seeking refuge and guidance. The humans' ingenuity, courage, and unity inspired countless others, creating a ripple that slowly reshaped the galaxy's view of them. Ilara, now older and wiser, looked out from the bridge of the Aurora's Pride. The planet below glimmered with life. Ships moved gracefully between outposts, humans and allies working together in harmony. She reflected on the journey, from rejection to resilience, from survival to thriving, from isolation to leadership. This, she whispered, is what humanity can do. Not because we are the strongest, not because we are the most advanced, but because we never gave up. We never stopped believing in ourselves or in each other. That is our legacy. That is our place in the stars. And so, the story of humanity continued, a testament to courage, ingenuity, and moral strength. They had been rejected by the galaxy, but they had found their true place, not through domination or violence, but through perseverance, collaboration, and a refusal to yield. The galaxy watched and learned. It could no longer dismiss humans as primitive or insignificant. They had proven that true greatness was measured not by the size of a fleet, but by the strength of character, the brilliance of thought, and the courage to stand for what is right. Ilara turned to her crew, smiling with pride. We did it. Humanity has claimed its place among the stars. And this is only the beginning. The twin suns set once more, casting their light across a world built by determination, ingenuity, and hope. Humanity, though once rejected, had become a beacon, a reminder that no matter how dark the galaxy might seem, courage and unity could light the way. The stars, once indifferent, now watched humans not with contempt, but with curiosity, respect, and perhaps even admiration. And in that light, humans continued their journey, ever forward, ever united, ever proving that rejection could never define them. Because humanity, resilient, resourceful, and unyielding, would endure, inspire, and thrive, no matter what the galaxy thought.